Oh wait, do you stream simultaneously to YouTube and Facebook?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good.
Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC, and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. Alrighty, so we're going to be doing a follow-up on the PC from last night, but I've got someone that I'd like to introduce you all to, and it's not Christine running by the camera.
Sorry.
This is Riley.
Hello.
So Riley has hit me up and wanted to see if he could get a bit of work with me, and I said to him, well, you know, I'm kind of at the stage where I can do with a little bit of help in the background. So what's Riley here to do? Riley is here to help do a bit of video editing and stuff related to that for me. Stuff that I don't have time to do. Stuff like going through all of our content on YouTube, shortening it and making it, you know, more appealing to people to actually watch. And also just help me make other shorter videos for YouTube, things that I don't really have time to do. So, what were you looking for your coffee, babe? Good one. Searching all around the house, and it's right next to your computer.
Yeah, behind it, thank you.
Yeah. That would be right. So, yeah, basically, a couple of days a week, I'm going to have Riley working on our content and making it better. So, our YouTube videos, shortening them down, because like a lot of them, you know, the live streams can go on for quite a while, but there's big portions within each of them that can just be cut out. It's one thing to go and watch the live stream and then to interact in the live chat and stuff. It's another thing to watch a 2.5 hour build video like after the fact, not live. It's kind of, I would use the word intimidating for people.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Fiona says ahoy ho there to Christine and Riley.
Hey Fiona, how you going? Good to have you with us. Alrighty. Well, that's basically it. So what we're doing today is the same PC from last night. We're going to move it into a new case. So basically, yeah, as you saw, this case was a bit damaged. We're also going to be adding another hard drive, and I'm also going to throw in another RGB fan here as well. So we've got fans all around with the new system. So yeah, it's pretty simple. We've just got this Silverstone case here. It's very similar to the Cooler Master one here. Slightly different fan configuration, but anyway, it's not going to be a big deal. You've got 3 120s on the front in the Cooler Master case, and then this one here will just have the 2 120s on the front, but then we'll put 2 up top and 1 at the back as well. So 1 extra fan from what we've got there originally, but that should be fine. And like I said, I'm going to be adding a hard drive because this is kind of embarrassing. When I built this PC for this customer bought his PC through his friend who bought 2 PCs off me. And what happened was I forgot to install the hard drive in the second PC, which was for this guy. And I did say, you know, he can come back anytime he wants and I'll put in that extra hard drive for him. But he never ended up coming back. But now that he's dropped his PC, well, he didn't drop it, the desk that it was sitting on broke. Well, I mean, it was dropped.
I'm waiting for your desk to break.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for it to break too, and it'll be, hopefully it happens when it's live, and then it will be our most popular video. So that'll be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, but it'd also break your legs because of the metal bar in the middle.
Yeah, probably. Hopefully just the glass will break, and I'll just get glass everywhere, and I'll just get cuts on my leg. That's okay, I don't mind.
Yeah, that's case scenario.
Alrighty. So yeah, a little bit of prep here for this case. What's Fiona saying?
Riley and edit him to have a mohawk, maybe some dreadies.
No promises.
No promises, no promises. No, that should be all right.
Dye my hair pink and make it more.
Yeah, I'm sure that something like that will eventually happen, right?
Maybe.
No, but now that I'll actually have someone looking after the content, hopefully the YouTube channel gets a little bit bigger.
I mean, it's already doing well.
It's doing well, but like, I mean, it's just a case of, it's just so much stuff involved in running a business on your own,
Yeah.
and then let alone trying to do any of the video editing and all that sort of stuff. Because I got to teach myself that. I didn't train to be a video editor. I mean, I only got into this because one customer asked me to take all these photos while I was doing the PC build, and I said to him, "Nah, man, I'm not stopping the build like 10 times while I'm doing it to take photos. How about I just do it in front of a webcam and live stream it for you?" And I did that, and then I had heaps of people getting so excited and going, "Oh wow, this is awesome, can you build a PC for me and live stream it as well?" And that's pretty much how I started doing what I'm doing. So yeah, might lie this down, might move the motherboard over next. So in here we've got a 3060 Ti and a Ryzen 5600G, which me and Riley were actually talking about this morning, about how the Ryzen 5600G is the best, still the best APU that you can get. So if you're on a budget and you don't have money to spend, it's a good option. It'll get you going, it'll get you running modern games, and should have a... Just one of these pin protectors. But it'll get you running games without a graphics card, and then you can save up a bit more money and get the graphics card that you want. So a lot better than sort of skimping and getting a crappy graphics card that's not going to be very good. You may as well get something that's decent in terms of what you can get, that will, you know, something decent that'll like make you not need to buy a graphics card.
It's also good as a backup in case, you know, your graphics card does fail.
Yeah.
Then, you know, you can still diagnose.
You can still get into Windows then.
Yeah, exactly.
You know. A dead cat.
He's asleep.
Yeah, he's out of it.
I found a cool place to live.
Meanwhile, my pets like the opposite. They just lay in the 40-degree heat and they're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll lay out in the middle of the sun. Like, yeah, this is fine.
It's like,
I'm
how
on
do
fire.
they
This is fine.
Yeah, Riley's from out of Ipswich. Whereabouts in Ipswich are you?
Springfield Lakes specifically.
Springfield Lakes. Oh, yep. So not really Ipswich as such, but Springfield. It's new Ipswich.
Yeah. Fancy schmancy.
Fancy Ipswich.
New South Wales, I lived down there.
Or there's Augustine Heights. That's the really fancy one, right?
Oh, yeah, okay. Keep things.
Oh.
It's a beefy heatsink for an M.2.
Which one? That one?
Yeah. Is that a heatsink?
Yeah.
Chonko.
Might help if I put the I/O shield in first.
I learned that from hardware. I did that after I put the motherboard in.
Yep. Oh, I've done it before as well, believe me.
It is a nightmare to do.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so we've got a micro ATX case and a micro ATX board, so I don't have to do anything weird with the cabling to make it look neat.
Actually, did you want me to start taking out the
Yeah, you can start taking out the fans, that'd be great. Thanks, mate.
holders? Great choice of fans though. They're pretty. These are good ones.
Yeah, they're alright. They're alright.
I mean, I just use like the budget Amazon ones in my case.
Yep, yep. Okay, so
Don't have much to offer, but do you want to?
Sure, I'm down.
Assuming you don't want one to.
nah, I'm fine.
This just in. Tim is not a fan of Pepsi Max.
Ah. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Even though I used to sell it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to work for
I used to work for Asahi.
Oh.
They own the distribution license for Pepsi in
Right.
Australia.
Yeah.
So it's really funny, right? Pepsi Corporation, they do have a presence in Australia, but it's not selling Pepsi. They own Smiths.
Oh, yeah.
So Smiths is the owner of Pepsi, but then Asahi owns the distribution and production rights for Pepsi branded drinks in Australia.
This may be controversial, but I'm more of a Bundaberg guy myself.
Ah, yep. No, that's not controversial.
Yeah, the passion fruit
Yep.
one is
Yes.
absolutely amazing.
Yep.
It's out of this world.
I know.
So good.
I had that first when I was like, maybe 10.
Yep.
10 at the oldest, yeah. Absolute life changer.
I
Yep.
only recently just tried it.
Yeah, I bought it recently.
It is the holy grail of soft drink.
I can't buy it. I bought a heap of drinks and I photographed my fridge full of drinks,
Yeah,
and then all of my old workmates chimed in and they're like, "Mate, there's a lot of Coca-Cola and Bundaberg in that fridge. You've changed, mate."
Change for the better.
And I was just like, oh well, see, now I just have a completely unbiased category view of everything. I'll just go and buy whatever the most popular things in the market are.
The most popular things are the strangest things.
Yep, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Daniel says maybe Riley can hold the 350 kg tie bag you need.
I've never been able to use cable ties properly though.
It's alright. I mean, if you've watched my channel, like, you'll know that we try to do everything with as few cable ties as possible.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person who either uses 5 too many or 50 too many.
Yep. Nah, it's one of those things, right? People who build their own computers and stuff, as a hobby, they'll go nuts with the cable ties. But then it's when you build and service the PCs, and you've got to work on them. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more strategic with how many we actually add.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I think Christine, you did it once, didn't you, babe? You
I cable tied
absolutely
everything
went
back to my computer.
went crazy
and then I
with
had
it.
to fix something and I'm like,
And then
Oh,
you had to
no.
cut out all these cable
Yeah,
ties and
cut
put
it
them all
out.
back. I'm just like, yeah, see, that's why I don't do it.
Not only do you have to go for looks, because yes, looks behind a back panel matter, you also
Yep.
got to make it easier to service.
Yep, exactly.
I also learnt that the very hard way.
Yep. You get that balance right.
Yeah, gotta love motherboard failure.
Yep.
Zane says, what's up, guys?
Hey, Zane, how you going? Good to have you with us.
Welcome to the stream.
Yes. And so yeah, if you missed last night, we've got a 4090 rig coming up. So it's finally someone's ordered one.
It's not gonna happen.
I know. I'm so excited.
4090 performance compared to the 3090 Ti is unreal.
Yeah, it's great. But the thing is, the thing that I've been saying to people, right, is when you've got like a 3080 or a 3090 and it runs everything at like 200 plus frames per second on max settings and stuff like that, does it really matter? Any extra performance on top of that? Does it really matter?
4K, 240 hertz.
Yep. Well, I mean that's what people are wanting, right?
That's the deal maker.
Yeah. But the thing is, still in 2022, the majority of gamers play at 1080p.
I play at 1080p.
Yep. Yep.
On a, what, 24 inch
Yep.
screen?
Yep.
All I need.
Yeah, that's it. Cheers, man.
All good. I've actually heard that there's been some really bad stability problems with the new Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Specifically with Windows 11.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just caused massive stutters.
Yep. Well, I mean, I still install Windows 10 on all PCs, and I leave Windows 11 up to the end user.
Yeah, Windows 10 is it's a good staple.
Yep.
I still haven't upgraded yet.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of upgrading because Call of Duty Warzone 1 ran
Yep.
really good with Windows 11.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Warzone 2 will not.
Yep. It will get fixed, but like I say to people, don't make yourself the free test guinea pig for these sort of things. Let other people do that.
Do you have a brush by chance? This is kind of dusty.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
Have you got something, babe? I don't have something.
May as well give it a nice little clean.
Yes.
Are we salvaging the power supply?
Yes.
Alright. Same with the RGB control panel?
Yes. Yeah, we'll get the RGB controller out of there.
Yep.
I have broken makeup brush. I do not have a normal brush.
I mean, that works.
It'll work.
We have a brush. Fancy brush.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over there.
Oh, yep.
What about the PSU frame? You need...
No, it shouldn't need a frame. It'll just be the PSU.
Yeah, I'll leave the frame to the side just in case.
Yeah, sweet.
Oh wait, the frame is built into the case.
Yeah, I think it is on that one.
Yep. Right. Power supply should come out nicely. There we go. It is non-modular. Alright, so I've got to
Yep.
take out
All
all the
the cords.
That's the good thing with modular power supplies, because then you only plug in the cords that you need,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it really beneficial for upgrades and transplants.
Yep. Makes it a lot easier.
Yep.
The only problem is with modular cables is if you end up with a PC with a modular power supply and say you don't have the extra cables that you need, and then you're going to look for another
Yep.
cable. A lot of people learn the hard way that not all modular cables are the same. Shits, mate.
You never mix and match power supply cables.
No.
I'll give you that for free.
Yeah, no. If you need that sort of thing done, you know, bring it over to me and let me do it for you. Okay.
Nice plug.
What's that?
Nice plug.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, let me do it for you because I'll check and make sure that all of the pinout is correct and not going to lead to a
This
problem.
has been
Yeah, that's gone.
Gutted.
Yep, that
E-waste.
that
Not
is waste.
Just dent it back as good as new.
You can have it. You can take it back on the train with you.
Hell yeah. That won't be weird.
Hey, if somebody tries to roll, you just chuck it at them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, it's not as bad as it used to be. Curraby's not too bad.
Mm.
No.
Curraby's our local station. That used to be a bit dodge, but it's all right. All the crackheads are gone now. It's just people from the Middle East
It's
mainly.
just international.
Yeah, it's fine. They're all right.
You just build a PC and then you turn it on. It's literally just a software to rickroll you.
Yep.
Perfect for thieves.
Okay, so we got. Oh, don't forget the hard drive. This time.
Yes, hard drive.
I forgot
You're
this
gonna forget
fucking.
again, like.
Oh, I was.
Guys.
What have we got? Good one. So we'll have to remove this hard drive tray from the bottom.
Second mesh. What is this one for?
There might be one for the front. What's this that do?
That one doesn't even have a front.
No, that'll be for.
I just saw that it was like that. It was sticking to
That
this.
could be
Where's
off.
the one from this one? Oh, it's under here.
You know, that could be a spare one that's
Yeah.
come off a Leon Lee case or something.
Leon Lee cases are beautiful. They
Oh.
are a gorgeous brand.
Yeah. Well, as people call them, Leon Lee has a nickname as the Corsair of the East.
And the magnetic powering fans, absolutely beautiful.
All right, so this hard drive tray has little feet on it there, and then you've got two bolts that you actually bolt in at the bottom. And then we've got a 1 terabyte hard drive here, and that will go in this way. Yeah.
What else? Is
Um, It's pretty much all just a one-man job from here.
actually, the front panel is something that can put on.
Yep. That's over there.
Any screws for it?
Nah, it just clips on.
Oh, sweet. Alright,
It's nice and easy.
Clip-on ones always make me nervous.
I know, it sounds like they're breaking just instantly.
Nah, it's all good.
It's like the front of these ones, they're clip-ons.
Yep.
Nightmare.
I've actually broken one before, like trying to get it off. It just sort of bent a little bit and then all of a sudden shattered.
When was that?
At Tingalpa. Remember we had one of these ones for a customer?
Nah, that was that case there that the test bench is
Oh,
on.
yes.
It was a Leon Lee Mini.
Yeah.
We pulled it out of the box,
Oh,
and
that's a nice test bench though.
yeah, it's a good test bench. But yeah, it was. I'm so pissed off with myself that I didn't notice that there was a problem with it. The box had obviously been dropped, right? And when I went to pull everything out, and I went to pull out the glass panel on the side, it was a little bit caught, and I pulled it out and it just shattered with my hands, and I was like, oh fuck, here we go.
He hasn't heard much about our trip away. Did you manage to get up the dark?
Yes. This is the 11th day for us.
No syrup.
Nah. So we are completely smoke free.
That's like 40-inch screen and then 227s. Powered by just the 3060, so should probably upgrade that. I made the mistake of trying to used dual GPUs. One of them was the RTX 3060, and the other one was a GT 710. That was a mistake.
Definitely.
Because it bricked itself and then it wouldn't turn on.
Oh no. That sucks.
Yep.
Okay, let's make some sense of all this. So we do have an RGB controller here.
Actually, something I can do is front I/O.
Yes, yep, you can do that.
Yep. You want that weaved in through the back here or up on the side? You got two little holes.
Yeah, just whatever hole is closest, I guess.
Oh, there's a zip tie on the tiny little headers. Or these ones. Oh, there's a bent pin on the motherboard.
Which one?
JFP one.
Oh, yep. You can just bend that back. That'll be fine.
But it's meant to be missing one on the top right, right?
Yes.
Alright, making sure.
Yep. 100%.
Last thing you want is to have a repair that just breaks something else.
Yeah, no. We don't want to do that.
Yeah. Where's the front I/O at?
Which one?
Where's the front I/O?
That'll be that one there.
Oh, the
Yep.
JFB one.
Yep,
Alright.
yep.
The more you know.
Yep. That's it.
In my case, it literally just says front panel I/O.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes it easy to remember. Reset switch. Right. From memory, the pin on the bottom right stays exposed. There's nothing plugged in.
Yeah. There's one spare pin there.
Yep.
That's just sort of a
Ground?
a direction indicator. It's not even connected to anything.
Oh,
It just
right.
shows you where which orientation the other 8 pins are.
Right. Yep.
So you can, because it's always the same orientation for them. So if you know that, that's half the battle.
God, it's a nightmare to plug these in with the graphics card in.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a pain.
Mind if we like temporarily take out the graphics card?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go for gold. Whatever's easy for you.
I think I got it. Yeah, I got it.
You got it?
Just a little bit more of a challenge. We stream our repairs live, but on the live stream you can just see people's heads.
Yep.
It's a magic trick. You can't see what we're doing, but we did it. Alright, and then the tiny ones. Great. Alright, so we have the
Theodore says that's excellent news. You may inspire me to give up my bad habits. Ice cream and loose women.
Oh, ice cream and loose women. Oh man, that's a harder one to give up. Ice cream, loose women. Oh Jesus.
you had me at loose women.
That is exactly it.
We have 2 power LEDs. Which is confusing my brain. Alright, so we have those 2.
Yeah, so power LED is negative on the right, positive on the left.
That's the one. Okay, yeah, this is impossible to do without the graphics card in.
Yeah, that's alright. Just take her out.
Oh, do you need a hard drive cable?
Yeah, we'll need one SATA cable.
Right
Yep.
angle?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. Yep. Alrighty. So one thing I think the customer was.
Right. What's up?
Oh, you got one monitor. Yes. What about second monitor?
It's an old TV from the 1800s. Oh, that's so much easier. I can breathe. Alright, so the power LEDs are on the top. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, tiny little
There's-
diagram.
There's a USB 2.
Wait, modern power supplies have USB 2 headers?
Yeah, absolutely.
I am dumb. I did not know that.
So no, you're not dumb. So what's kind of ironic is once you get into the premium RGB environments of like Lian Li and Corsair, they
Right.
heavily use USB 2 internal.
Oh, okay.
So it's to the point where I actually have USB 2 internal hubs. So
Oh,
that's those
damn.
USB 2 headers, but like with 5 of them.
Right, yeah.
So I actually have them just sitting there in the background, just in case I need them for Lian Li builds or with Corsair or Lian Li, because
Fair.
they utilize those USB 2 headers. But you only usually get 1 or 2 of them on a modern board.
Yeah,
There's no clip for
the graphics card.
yeah.
Which is scary, to say in the least.
That's one of the things that would have been broken when it was dropped.
Sorry, viewers, for seeing my ass.
People love that.
Loose women? What about loose men? Alright, and one screw is secure. I can now breathe.
Sweet.
Wait, oh, there's a second one. Thank God. What did someone say?
Oh, another meme.
Oh.
Teen sleeps with all of his 5 bullies' mums to assert dominance.
In an alternate universe where bullies sleep with your women. I want to be in the universe where making whale sounds asserts your dominance. Just lean over them and go whale noise. Oh, that would be a treat. Speed running this build.
Mm-hmm.
Are all the RGB headers set?
I think we're gonna have to take the graphics card out again.
Again.
It's the horizontally orientated USB 3 header on this motherboard,
Ah.
which I love because it keeps that cable sort of out of the way.
But not love for transplant specific situations.
Yes, that's always a little bit of a pain.
Mm.
And did you have that SATA cable?
Yes, right here.
Sweet.
I'll plug the non-right angle side in.
Yep.
Alright. That's in.
That chucks the right angle one through there and
Oh, hello in there.
hello. Up. Okay. Alright, we are coming along now.
Yep.
So we should just have
Nice RAM choice though. Corsair Vengeance.
Yep.
It's the one I used for my first build. Well, I still use it.
Very nice.
Should we plug in the power pins to the motherboard before we put the graphics card in? That way we have a bit more clearance.
Yeah, chuck everything.
Yeah,
Chuck
alright.
everything. And I've got CPU in,
Alright.
and then the other two are just for the graphics card. We only need one cable. The other one can be stashed away.
Yep. Tell you what, PC building should have the same thing with McDonald's. I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
So there's a graphics card. We can just like feed it through. I want to say this gap here, but there's not enough room, so I'd put it through the side.
Do it from up there, and it'll come around from the top.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do
Like
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. That's a plan.
I normally, as a bit of a house style, I normally try to keep the area below the graphics card all clean.
Right.
If that makes sense. I mean, it's not that there's anything wrong with doing it another way. It's just like the way that I try to do it.
Yeah. I mean, literally every other YouTube thing that I've seen, they've always gone under.
Yep. But see, the reason why I like going over, and this is why I do it, if anyone watching is sort of wondering why I do that. So people always talk about graphics card sag, right? So when a graphics card sags, it's not actually the card itself that's bending, it's this bracket at the back that bends. So if we have the power cable coming in from around the top, it helps just to take a bit of pressure off that back bracket. So you'll reduce the need for, graphics card anti-sag brackets and all that other stuff that people spend money on. You don't really need to spend money on that. Just make that cable provide a little bit of extra support for it, especially with a heavier card. So that's what I try to do. That's the rationale with it.
You reckon this is good to set back in?
I think so, because I've only got, hang on, are there any fan headers spare along the bottom of the board?
Bottom of the board? No, not that I see. You just have JRGBs.
They're all occupied. Then we've got 1, 2. Alright, so I'll need another splitter.
Another split.
Here we go. Yep, that's a triple splitter. Sweet.
Absolutely love the design of Gigabyte graphics cards.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Definitely. Very slick. Yeah, that's the word, slick.
What's up?
There's a house fire.
House fire at Woody Point. Damn. Oh.
I got it.
Man down.
I don't got it. I have no idea where that went.
That's alright.
Have like a giant magnet.
I've got a giant magnet exactly for that.
Oh, really?
Yep. Well, it's not really a giant magnet, it's just a really strong magnet.
Yeah, same. Oh, damn.
So yeah, you got a magnetic stick so you can pick up any bolts and stuff on the ground.
Found it. Okay, that wasn't the magnet, that was my eyes. My eyes are bolt magnets.
Okay. Alright.
Damn, I want to be with the Wi-Fi.
He's always eating up.
The spinach! It's just like I'm bathing in food.
This is the best thing ever.
Affection and treats. Love that.
Yeah. So as you can see there, got a bit of extra support
side
there.
prevention. like in this case, probably wouldn't.
Not going to be a big deal in this case.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you have a heavier graphics card,
Mm.
that can be an ideal way of saving you the need to buy one of those support brackets.
And in turn, the case is a little bit too small to support one the way it's meant to be.
Yep.
So just, put it from the top to
Exactly.
maximize it.
Exactly. Yeah, because like graphics card sag is a relatively new phenomenon because we had smaller graphics cards back in the day. It wasn't really a big deal.
Back in the times of GTX 285.
Yes, yes.
It was actually the first PC my family owned.
Oh wow. Yep.
GTX 285, like the day it came
Yep.
out.
Yeah, we had a 2860X as our. That's the first one I remember. I think they had earlier PCs, like my parents had earlier ones, but I don't remember. The main one that I remember, like the first computer that we had, I think was the 286, and it had DOS. And then my uncle used to do a bit of computers and stuff like that. Mainly more business service style IT than actual computer builds. But he came and got us a 486DX, and that had Windows 3.1. So wow, Windows 3.1. How cool is that? That was so cool, man. Using the mouse to click on icons. Hell yeah! No more writing stuff into DOS. Well, I mean, you couldn't. It wouldn't. You turn your computer on, and it wouldn't just boot straight to Windows. It'd boot to DOS. Then you had to type in WIN and enter, and then you'd get into Windows.
That's it.
Yeah.
Being also is Riley a gamer. Maybe he adds some gaming content to your channel, seeing his how-tos bit
Yes!
in the mud.
Exactly.
I am a
Exactly.
gamer.
Exactly.
I am a gamer.
Perfect,
I
perfect.
admit.
Perfect. I love it. That's exactly the sort of thing that Riley can bring to the table
I
here.
play way too many games. Like, seriously, you name one genre of game, I can identify three.
See, Riley's young. How old are you, Riley?
I am 17,
You're
almost 18.
17, almost 18. So, unfortunately, Riley's just got the only other job he has is at Domino's, and he only gets 3 hours a week.
Yeah.
So Riley is basically just wasted doing nothing. So I'm like, man, I've got hours and hours and hours and hours of content that needs someone to go through it and stuff. So come and do it. Come and help me out. I'd appreciate it because I don't have time between everything else that I've got to do to keep this thing running.
PC's quiet. Parents use this. Featuring the new Be Quiet screwdriver, best for parents.
Come here.
Good old.
95%.
I love
parents
those
says-
Be Quiet screwdrivers. They came with the big chunky. I think it's called the Be Quiet. Is it Pro 4 cooler?
I thought you
Was
were going to
that
say
the
belt.
air cooler?
Big chunky air cooler.
Yeah.
And these screwdrivers, they have like they've got like a really strong angle at the tip. And what it allows you to do, it allows you to like have the screwdriver on an angle like this.
Is that like a proprietary screwdriver?
Yeah, it basically is.
Right.
And it lets you get. What's cool about it is if you're on a really weird angle. See if you're just like that, you can still
Right,
turn the
yeah, so it's
bolt.
got a wider
like a
access area. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
excellent.
That's the word. Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so like they came with the coolers, so I've bought 4 of them for people before who wanted air coolers, but I've ended up keeping all the screwdrivers because I wanted them. So if you do have a Be Quiet cooler and you got it from me and you got the shits that you don't have your screwdriver, just send me a message and I'll send it to you. It's no big deal. But I got the first one and I was like, yeah, these are handy to have around.
When it comes to air coolers, the main one that I use a Cooler Master.
Yep.
I have 2 fans on each side.
Yep.
So best pass through.
Yep.
It's got like 6 copper pipes, which is insane.
Yep.
It was on sale. It was like 70% off or something. It was like a
Is that
massive
the Hyper 212?
Ooh.
Or the one that's basically the same as that? There's a few different ones.
It's a hyper something, purple box.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this Hyper 212 might be.
Do you wanna share the screen quickly, babe?
Oh, I guess.
I reckon you could.
Haha, small Tim.
Alrighty.
Yes! We have entered Tiny Tim mode.
Tiny Tim mode. Yep.
Yes. Tiny Tim and Giga Tim.
Yeah, I can make me bigger.
Oh, Tiny Tim grew up. They grew up so fast.
Where'd the time go?
Alrighty. So we should have our hard drive here now because that's the final piece of this.
Make sure to format it as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Give it also a what do you call it? Partition check to make sure that there's nothing dead to begin with.
No, we should be all good.
I actually bought a hard drive from Amazon. Big mistake.
Oh, yep.
It was brand new, and it was Seagate.
Yep.
And it was dead on arrival.
Yeah. Oh, it happens. It happens.
Just like, damn it.
I've had all sorts of weird things. I've had weird things with like silicon power SSDs.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a fairly high failure rate, but the thing is, right, you might see me use them a lot in builds, and that's despite the high failure rate. The reason why I use them is because they've just changed the warranty to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they're going to give you a 5-year warranty, I've got the returns on them through the company I buy them from is basically a no question, no problem, instant replacement. I rock up and go, hey, I've got a dead drive. They go, no worries, this is a 1 terabyte. Here you go, here's a brand new 1 terabyte one. I got the old one, I'll take care of that. And so when it's like that and it saves the customer like $60, $70 on an SSD and they're still getting the long warranty, it makes sense. So,
We're here for happiness, not money.
yeah, exactly. Well, like, you've got to... Everyone's got a tight budget. Money is not unlimited.
Yep.
And so if this is gonna save you $70, it's gonna save you $70. It can be the difference between sort of
Eating
getting
one night and not the next.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that's all sorted, and we tested this last night, but now that we've got it in the new case, and it is a different fan configuration and stuff, we should probably just make sure that everything's running fine. We've got the 5600G there.
Tim,
Yeah.
is the new Windows 11 out last week worth installing, or is it troublesome?
22H2. Yeah, I'd install 22H2 if I was you. I haven't seen any problems with it.
I've done a little bit of research on that because for like a personal build of mine.
Yep.
I can say that it's definitely a lot better than the previous version
Yeah.
of Windows 11. However, if you're on Windows 10
Yeah.
as of now, I would check to see if it conflicts with anything.
Yeah,
first.
I maintain that. I continue to install Windows 10 on all of our PCs. But what I found with 22H2 is I installed it on mine. I ran a whole heap of different apps and stuff like that. Didn't have any problems with it, and it had a few interesting, cool little feature changes and all that. A few little things under the hood. I thought it was a worthwhile upgrade, and I've started the Windows 10 22H2 update is also out, and it's also no problems with it as well. 21, I remember 21, was it 21H2 or 21H1? There was all sorts of problems with it, and there was an issue where it was getting installed and then it was erroring and then it was getting stuck on people's computers as
Yep.
like an update that would just never work.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically there was a solution. I worked out how to fix it. And basically we have to go in here, we'd go into Windows.
That is if you can get there to begin with.
Yeah, we should be able to get into the Windows file, and then if you go down to, where is it? Software distribution.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in this software distribution folder in Windows, in C drive, this will be all your stuff from Windows Update. Now, if we go and try to delete it straight away, it won't work because items will be in use. However, if you go into Task Manager and go to details, you can go and remove everything related to Windows Update and any other apps that come up and are conflicting with deleting all this stuff. Then once you've deleted everything in here, then you can go back to Windows Update and refresh it, and it should download a nice new fresh version of it and hopefully won't have the error. So glad we don't have that one anymore, because that was a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with, and it was a real pain in the ass when it was a customer who called me up and wanted to do it, and like that the customer didn't have any clue, and it's like, well mate, I just need you to go into the Windows folder, I need you to open up Task Manager now, I need you to go over to details, I need you to go and remove certain processes that are linked to the things in that folder, and it's just goes whoosh.
Riley said he only just got a second NVMe, 1 terabyte.
Ah, excellent,
That's really good, considering that there's a lot of budget options out there. You can get 1 terabyte for like maybe $100 at most, and that in turn, that would last you a good while, depending on what you use.
Yep.
And Bradley also said that Windows 11 is crazy at first. It is. It's like, whoa! Look at the taskbar. It's round. It's not a rectangle.
Yep.
Whoa! And then it gets old.
Yep.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, I mean, I personally...
Windows 11 reminds me too much of Apple.
I know. I'm like, I
Apps
chose
and
Windows
stuff.
for a reason because rectangle, not so.
Yep.
But they're like, let's make a compromise. Oval.
It's pretty much it. I mean, Apple are getting a bit of help from the US government as well, but you know, probably not as much as Intel.
I can't lie though. The one thing that Apple is way ahead of is thermals.
Yep.
Like the M2 chips now are blistering fast.
Yep.
Compared to relatively similar specs. Like, yeah, absolutely insane. As well as the performance of the software. Like the operating system uses so much less resources than Windows does.
Yeah.
But the lack of compatibility with Steam games, in turn, as well as just games in general, it's not the best. For...
It's not worth investing in Apple because of the drawbacks. If it's okay if you're
like if you're an Office user, then yes, I'd consider it. But considering that a lot of enterprises and stuff have like enterprise based Windows installs, I would still go with Windows any day. Than
the problem is right now in the modern world is if you're a business and you need software made for your company, it's so much easier to get devs to develop software and apps for your Windows-based system than it is for for Apple-based systems. And that's what's really gonna define the next 10 years, is because there are so many companies now that are out there that basically will build any sort of software, any sort of app that you need for your business. Whatever you need, they'll make it happen for you. And the thing is, it's you're gonna find more of them will work with Windows software than with Apple software. So that's what it fundamentally comes down to. I mean, if Apple change and sort of start becoming more like PCs, then I'll start selling them as well. But I mean, at the moment, I don't sell Apple because I mean, I sell laptops, but laptops are only sold to customers who actually need the mobility.
Yeah.
Like I don't actively go and promote laptops to people. If people ask me for a laptop, I'll usually try and talk them out of a laptop, because a lot of people come in and they want to buy a laptop not knowing that it's not, even though the parts sound similar to desktops, they're not the same.
Usually laptop variants of desktop parts, like say an RTX 3060 in a laptop, is usually up to 30% slower, which is
they are all cut down, low-powered versions of their desktop equivalents, because for a laptop it's all about that power efficiency, because you're running off battery and stuff like that.
You want a laptop, then just undefault a PC. Done.
Yep. So yeah, if you're the sort of person who's traveling around a lot and stuff, you need a laptop, you need a computer that you can just set up in your hotel room and do some work on and stuff. but it should never be your primary computer. That's the thing. Like I've sold to a fair few businesses, and I've convinced the business owner that, you know, basically you should get a proper computer for your business, and then have a laptop, not a super expensive laptop, but a decent laptop. So whenever you're on the move, if ever you're on a plane, on a train, meeting a customer for lunch, whatever, you've got that computer there that works. But it should never be your primary. It should never be your main thing for your office. You should have a proper, reliable workstation for the office, and you know, the laptop should be just to give you that mobility. It should never be your daily driver.
Tim?
Yeah.
Fiona says, let's see a Cyberpunk 2077 stress test.
Cyberpunk 2077 on this.
Nah, you gotta test Minecraft. That's the real challenge.
Minecraft RTX on.
Yes, shaders, texture resource pack, 4K, all of it. I love how even the RTX 4090 is like, that's a bit too much for me. I'll pass.
Yep.
The all new RTX 5090 is the size of a PC,
Oh man.
featuring a 2-meter heatsink.
What?
Hang on, let me see if I can find something for you. This is old RTX 4080 meme.
It's weird though that the RTX 4080 was originally going to be
There it
less
is.
performing than a 3070, which is ridiculous. Whoa! Look at that!
Here we are.
Yeah.
So this was predicted. So this was predicted years ago, like
Were
over a
they
year
wrong?
ago. They were like, "Yep, this is going to be the next generation. It's going to be absolutely massive."
I mean, they weren't wrong. Just
No.
make less fans, and then you're good. Look at me. I'm the mother.
And that's just a 3090 Founders series.
Oh God.
Where there is another one that I saw.
The RTX 3090 is now a little baby. God, I'm worried to see where we're gonna head 10 years from now. Like, PCs are gonna be as expensive as a damn building.
Hang on.
Yes, so this is Tim's PC where we search up memes and build PCs at the same
Yes, this is Tim's memes.
time. Tim's meme scene.
Oh, I can't think of the name of that absolutely ridiculous graphics card from like the 90s.
If you're looking for
No,
one
there
that's
is an absolutely insane one that's like this big from the 90s. It was actually a real card. It was basically a lot of smaller cards patched together, but I believe it was actually legitimate.
We all know that the G100 will always be close to our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
In shame. In very much shame.
Well, look, this system's running fine. We got 80 degrees on the hotspot. Hotspot can go up to 100 degrees. GPU temperature there 68. It can go up to 83. And over here on our CPU, just with the stock cooler running Cinebench, we're sitting at 83 degrees. We can go up to 95 degrees on the CPU there.
Yeah, that's
So-
pretty stable.
Everything's looking pretty good. And obviously, what we're doing here is Cinebench, much more intensive than gaming, puts out a lot more heat than gaming. So,
Tim,
yeah.
Bradley says it'll be cheaper to buy a house than a computer.
You know
Yeah.
what, Bradley, you are very correct. That'll be in like maybe 6 months, give or take.
Yeah. Yeah, quickly get into the property market, especially
Property
around
market
here.
is just a house made of PCs.
Basically.
I'm just waiting for someone to do SLI 4090s. Because that'd be interesting.
Here we go. No, I've already got a guy who does that.
You get what?
Yeah. So one of my friends, he owns a company called Smoosh Workstations down in
yeah.
Sydney, and all he sells is like high-end desktops. So his normal is building 43090s all chained together and stuff like that,
Whoa.
$20,000 plus PCs
That's a lot of money.
and all that. Like they go to businesses that are just like, yep, we need this, make it happen.
I'll trade you
kind
my
of thing.
kidney.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, he's been doing multiples with the 4090s and stuff like that. It's just insane. These aren't gaming PCs.
Oh, yeah.
This is
They're like...
yeah, they're workstations. They're going to Like, I mean, I think he did one. He did one that went to a university, and it was like, yeah, this thing had like 43090s and everything you can imagine, and it was like, it's gonna be doing research, crunching like equations or something like that to find new drugs or something like that. Yeah, it's like it's just gonna sit there for the next 3 years crunching numbers.
Bradley says, do you sell monitors? If so, what is the best one for a 3070 Ti? No, I know the answer for that one.
Ha, okay, you want to answer that one?
Alright, so honestly, for 3070 Ti, if you're looking for like high refresh rate, resolution-wise, I wouldn't go higher than 1440p. That's a good staple. You'd get good sharpness, maybe like 27-inch.
Yep.
And based off the performance of a 3070 Ti, I'd say 144 hertz, 1440p.
Yep.
That would be best.
There wouldn't really be any point getting a 240 hertz or anything like that with 3070 Ti.
There's less of a difference between 144 and 240 than 60 and 144.
Yeah, 100%.
Big jump.
Most humans won't really be able to tell the difference beyond about 160 or so hertz, just because of how sensitive our eyes are. If you are like in that top 5% of humans with eyes, then maybe you can tell the difference between 160 and 240 plus. But most people won't be able to tell the difference.
When I upgraded from 75 to 144, like I had a 3060.
You would notice.
Running
You'll notice
75
that.
hertz.
You'll notice that.
When
for
I
sure.
upgraded that was like bliss in the bedroom. My
Yep.
God.
Yep.
Just like, oh, it's so smooth.
Yeah, but trust me. Try going from 144 to 240, and you'll be like,
Where is it?
Where is it?
Yes,
CS:GO. That's the only difference.
Yes, go.
Bradley says he's got an AOC 27-inch 144 hertz.
Yep.
At the moment.
Yep.
Is it 1440p or 1080?
Yep.
Because that would be the decision maker if you should change or not. Even then, 1080p is more than enough.
Yeah,
you don't need anything higher.
I still think 1080p gaming is fine in 2022, despite
Exactly.
people wanting 1440 and 4K.
Like, if you're playing competitive games and stuff, you're not going to pay attention to, like, oh, look at all the pixels, there's lots more there.
Yeah,
It's just, You're
exactly.
focusing on movement and, like, moving. You're not looking at, wow, that's a high-quality tree. I can see the difference with 5 pixels.
Yeah, and also like a 4K screen, it's a bigger area to focus on with your eyes. So if you're playing like Call of Duty and stuff like that, it could potentially give you a little bit of a disadvantage over someone playing 1440 just because it's a little bit more compact of a screen, and you've got like, what's the word for it? You can respond quicker, and your eyes don't have to look as far around the screen at different objects.
Gaming for
because
lazy people.
Yeah. Well, lazy or competitive, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you're playing competitively, you're not gonna run at 4K. You generally run at 1440 or 1080. So
Bradley said, oh yeah, that's right. Linus Tech Tips did a segment with pro players and they tested them with 65 Hz, 144 Hz, 175 Hz, and 240 Hz. After 144 Hz, they didn't notice much of a difference.
yeah,
I agree with
that's 100%. That's legit. That's to do with the genetics of humans and our eyes. So
Like, if you play the footage in slow motion, yes, you can definitely tell that
Yeah.
it's a lot smoother, but like in real time, no difference. There's
yeah,
minimal
but
difference.
your eyes and your brain is what's actually bottlenecking you there.
Exactly.
So you can't really do anything about that.
It's a matter of finding your comfort zone and like finding what you can perceive as a benefit rather than a poor investment.
If you can go can go to a retailer that has all these monitors set up and will let you like run some games and stuff on them.
There is actually a place in Orion that does that.
Oh, at Orion.
Yeah, Tech House.
Tech House.
Yeah, they have different monitors. They even have a full-on racing rig.
Oh, okay.
Like full-on, it's crazy.
Jeez, I've walked past there because like I used to be a sales manager in that area, but I don't think I ever walked into that shop.
My word of advice: they're kind of overpriced, but they are very reputable.
Yep.
But yeah, very very overpriced.
Computer Alliance is another one that has a lot of
Yes.
monitors set up, but like they can be a little bit funny in there. So
I just got my monitor from eBay.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you can normally just pick up a good monitor somewhere, but yeah, if you want to that's the hardest thing about seeing how sensitive your eyes are.
Yeah.
I'd love to get an optometrist's view on this as to what are the factors in sensitivity of humans' eyes versus what screens and stuff like that. Like, so what I mean is, there's a eye condition that's very, very common. Everyone's got this to some degree. It's called astigmatism, and it's basically to do with the shape of the lens on the front of your eyes. So my lovely wife over here's got pretty bad astigmatism, and that means that basically she sees a lot more. She's affected by glare a lot more than other people, but she could get glasses to correct that because it's just got to do with the shape of the lens. So what I found out from her is that I don't see this, but whenever she looks at bright lights, she sees lines that sort of streak off away from the light everywhere. So it's street lights at night and all these lines going everywhere.
But not
Yeah.
for the mood.
See properly.
Yeah, not everyone gets that, and I was just saying to her, I'm like, that's why she's like sort of wonders why I can drive so well at night and stuff, and it's because I used to say it's because I eat lots of carrots and they're good for your eyes.
Ah, yes,
but it's
the
got
child's tale.
it's got nothing to do with that. She's got really bad astigmatism. I don't have astigmatism really. So I can see really, really well at night. I can see very, very well in low light conditions, whereas she can't see as well. So I wonder where something like that comes into play with how sensitive your eyes are at noticing the difference between 144 hertz and 240 hertz, for example.
Yeah, I'm not planning on upgrading at all from 144 hertz.
No.
Riley wanted to know anywhere in Melbourne wise he could do this, but
Jeez.
I'm pretty sure Tech House isn't like you can try and look for a Tech House because they're very friendly with walk-ins and testing. I would say that they're not just a Queensland thing, but they would be in other states. So
Yeah, I think they are in other states.
Yeah.
You try them.
If not, just look around, search it up.
If you want, I can. If you're in Melbourne, so I know plenty of people down in Melbourne. I'm just not sure whose shops are kind of set up like that for walk-ins and have monitors kind of set up. But if you want, I can go and ask a couple of people and see what their deal is. I know Josh at Cataclysm Computers. I don't think he has anything like that set up at his place. But I'm not sure about Radium Computers over at Yarraville. Radium might have some stuff set up, but if you want to send me a message, I can actually go and message the owner of that business personally and find out what his setup is there. Because I mean, I usually refer a few of my customers to Radium if there's an issue and they're in Melbourne, and I know they actually have a physical store, so that might be helpful. But I don't know whereabouts in Melbourne you are, and it could be a real pain in the ass getting from one side of the city to the other. Yep.
he said that would be awesome.
Yeah, just send me a message, man, and I'll find out for you.
Bradley's also heard about the whole astigmatism thing. He gets that when he's driving home and he's tired.
Yep, there you go. Yep. Totally.
I don't have to be tired and just.
She just
go
gets it all.
outside.
She just gets it all the time. Same with a few of my friends, and I remember we told Ryan about it, and Ryan was completely like, "What? People don't get that? You can see things clearly."
Whoa!
Yeah.
Knowledge is sight.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I'd say this one's
He's in Werribee.
Werribee. I don't know where
I'm
Werribee is.
pronouncing that right.
The shutting down screen is my brain 24/7. Doesn't want to shut down when I want it to.
Okay. Well, this one is all ready to be picked up now, so customers coming back this afternoon for this. But that's where we'll probably leave the live stream for today, because that's all we've got. Friday is the quiet day for the live stream. Normally everyone's going out and doing, you know, fun things on Friday night, not actually watching my live stream. So
that is fun.
I normally try to have a night off on Friday night of all nights. So it works out pretty good for me, but the fact is I do this all the time, so I don't actually have any social life. So I don't actually get to do anything on Friday. I still end up probably sitting in this chair, as I do always. So
that's the life.
yeah, I know, right? Like
That's the-
absolutely.
you're living the life.
When I was a teenager, I was like, "Yep, that's gonna be me, man. Absolutely doing nothing on Friday night.
You're not
That'll be
wrong.
me."
You're living the best life.
Oh
The
yeah.
dream.
Alrighty, so thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video, which is going to be the 4090 build. So definitely be sure to check that one out. Got a big, chunky, triple slot 4090 going in, a Leon Lee build. So it's gonna look pretty sick. So the only thing that doesn't have is it doesn't have the cable extender for the 4090 because we don't have we don't have Leon Lee strimmer cables for the 12 pin power connector on the 4090, and because it's likely we're going to be using the adapter cable, and because of all the problems that people have had with fires and their cards melting,
Yeah,
we're not
that's
gonna be bending things into crazy shapes to make it fit. We're not going to be plugging in like third-party cable extenders to it. We're just going to be going from the power supply to the adapter to the card, and you know, if it's a little bit in the way, it's a little bit in the way. I'm not going to be taking any risks with
Stability.
fires and stuff like that.
Stability is more important than
Yeah.
like looks.
Plus, I've told the customer that there's a different connector on the new 4090 and we can't use the cable extender, and he's fine with that, so it's not going to be a problem. But we will have a strimmer for the motherboard, and then it's going to be a black Leon Lee with all Corsair QL fans, and the customer's really keen on a red and black theme. He was going to get an open loop, and I told him how much that was going to cost extra, and he was like, oh, that makes sense. He's like, I've been looking at them online and I've been wondering how come they're all like $2,500 more than the other ones with the black pipes and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, it's a lot more expensive, man. I'm like, you'll pay about an extra $1,000 or so for the parts, just for the parts, and then you've got the labor and the extra testing on top of that, which is like over $1,000 again in labor and stuff. So it's very, very expensive to do that, and partially it's because, well, you've got all the hard tubing, so you get out there, you've got the hard tubing, and you've got a little bit of blowtorch, and you've got to actually bend the tubing into shape. So it's a very,
delicate.
very, very long and tedious process, and when you're actually doing it and you're getting the tubes in line, you know, you could fuck one up. You could actually, you know, bend it on a funny angle, and then you try to bend it back, and then it's still on a fucked up angle and it just doesn't look right. Then you've just got to chuck that bit of tubing out, start again with a fresh bit of tubing. So that's all got to be factored into the total cost with them. And the fundamental thing is they look awesome, looks great. So if you're just after the best looks, fuck the cost. It's excellent. If you're after performance and price performance, stay away, because you will pay a lot more for it, and it's not that much extra performance.
And let's be honest, we all know that air cooling is just better. It's superior. You can get so much more like cost per performance. Like it's a lot cheaper, and you still get really solid performance. Just don't use an Intel 13th Gen i9. Avoid that. In that case, yeah,
Yeah.
just spend the extra grand on water cooling.
Well, remember that all cooling is air cooling.
Technically,
That's
true.
the thing that people got to remember. The water is just a vector. It's a way of transferring the heat. So that's why they invented water coolers, because the size of the air cooler radiators they were strapping the motherboards were getting too big, starting to bend the actual motherboards because they were too heavy. And so the engineers were like, hey, water, let's just move the heat to a radiator with fluid. But fundamentally, it's all got fans, it's all cooled by air.
Bradley wants to know my MSI Mag 240 radiator died. No idea why.
Oh, I could probably tell you why.
Probably got the
Yeah, so the Mag 240Rs and similar MSI coolers. See, okay, I'll tell you a little bit of a story, right? So MSI are they're a little bit precious at times. Okay, now what I mean by that is MSI were wanting to get into all-in-one liquid coolers, and they wanted to go and get one with their own brand on it. And then they found out that, hey, there's two companies that basically make all of the all-in-one liquid coolers, and they own the patents on the design. And MSI was like, so what? We've got to pay royalties to build our cooler. No, fuck that. We're not paying anything for our coolers. We're gonna do our own thing, you know, with blackjack and hookers. But it didn't really work out, because what they did was to avoid the patent laws, they put the pump in the radiator, and then they didn't provide any sort of documentation or warnings to customers about it. And then what happened was, even I did a few of these like this and learnt the hard way when the customers had them fail. But if you have that radiator top mounted, and then the pump is in the radiator, then the pump is at the high point of the loop. And what happens is there's always a little pocket of air inside an all-in-one liquid cooler. That pocket of air allows for the liquid inside the loop to expand and contract as the temperature changes. If not, if it was just completely full of water, it'd start to expand and it would just leak, because the water would physically expand and no longer fit in the area inside it.
It's in those cases that you wanna mount it like at the front, like in the front of the
Yeah.
case, the front panel.
Yeah.
That would be
Well, potentially you could even mount it to the bottom.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
the pumps at the low point, that's ideal.
Yeah.
Because pumps are designed, if they're designed to move liquid, then they don't respond very well to air.
The only
air
problem...
will actually, like, you'll end up with the air inside the pump, and then what happens is the pump will be running at full ball, and it will never actually be moving liquid at that full rate.
The only problem
And it just generates too much heat, and the area that's got the pocket of air inside the pump, that'll heat up even more, and this just destroys the pump over time. So you never ever want the pump at the high point, or it doesn't matter if it's not at the low point, it just can't be at the high point, because that pocket of air cannot sit in the pump. Pumps are the other thing that'll kill a pump is if you plug the addressable header for the pump onto an addressable header on the motherboard and you set like a curve for it. Pumps aren't really designed to run at variable RPMs. A pump's kind of like a car. Just like below a certain RPM, the engine starts to kind of shake and vibrate like that at low RPM or at really high RPM. Pumps are the same. Pumps just want to run at the one speed the whole time. So ideally with a pump, just set it to just full speed all the time if it's got an addressable cable on it.
So do I mount it at the bottom? It's like, oh, it's probably never going to work.
No, if it stops working and it's starting to overheat, then it's fucked. You've lost it. And MSI only have like 1 year warranty on them. They're pretty bad.
That's crap.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
Yeah, it's really.
all right. Well,
I
I think we're pretty much there. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Mr. T-Joe wants to know, so there's
Like
no
we,
new
we
PC
did
orders
a-
you got?
Case transfer.
No. So there was the case transplant that we did earlier. But yeah, I've got nothing else on for tonight. But the next one we've got coming up either tomorrow or Sunday night is an RTX 4090. So that's our first 4090 that we've done. So that'll be very exciting. But yeah, all right. Thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.